Hey there guys, what up? Welcome to this week's episode of whatever I end up calling this at some point. Just a warning, the window's open because it's about 5 billion degrees in my room, especially since the door is closed. And I'm not closing the window, so if you hear any random ass people in the background, that's because my window is right over the front of the building, so there's a lot of people. I just finished my first week of classes here and all that fun stuff. So after spending a week at college from a not freshman perspective, I kind of figured that I wanted to, I've kind of wanted to make this video for a while, like since the school year ended, like stuff that I wish I'd known as a freshman, but it's kind of morphed into like advice that I have for freshmen, kind of, sort of thing. So we're basically gonna go into that and have fun. So probably the first thing that I'd like to throw out there, if you plan on partying, be safe, don't be dumb. Pretty much. There's, it's gonna happen. People are gonna go out and party, and, I can't stop it. No one can really stop it with the, whoa. Something just went across the screen. Anyway. Yeah, sorry. But, if you're gonna go out, be safe, don't be dumb. Buddy system. Buddy system's really important. Always go with people. So that way you've got someone to watch your back and you can watch someone else's. And if you have someone there who's sober, well, it's gonna suck to be them because everyone else is gonna be drunk. That's always more help for you guys. I personally didn't party, so my advice for that is you can not party and still have friends, and it's still okay. Not going to parties isn't gonna make you a social recluse or whatever, or reject, that's what I'm looking for. It's not gonna make you a social reject. People are still gonna like you even if you don't go to all the parties. I have friends, so that proves it. Maybe, I guess. But yeah, I don't party. I don't really like a lot of people, especially if I don't know them, and especially if I don't know them and they're drunk. So I don't do it. I still had a great time last year and made a lot of friends, so you can too. But if you want to party, hey, that's your thing, cool. I'm not saying you don't have to. You shouldn't. Do whatever you want. I'm not your mom. I don't know why I'm waving. So yeah, that's kind of number one thing. So I guess advice number 2, take the time when you first arrive at college to find out where your classes are and where the buildings are if you don't know where they are already. Because the first day of classes, first couple days of classes, if you're wandering around with a map, we notice. Like, I get it. Some people want to know where, you really want to make sure where you're going. Some people aren't fine with wandering around in circles, trying until they finally find what they're looking for, like me. So if you can avoid the whole being glued to a map your first day or two, that's probably a good thing. Even if that's just, like the night before, when you get there, just take a run around campus and be like, oh, okay, this is where the buildings are in relation to each other. And even if you can't get inside to see the classes, they're pretty generally self-explanatory. They'll have like 100 numbers, whatever the first number is, that's the floor it's on. If it's 100 something, it's on the first floor. If it's 400 something, it's on the 4th floor. Mostly once you find the building, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just wander in a circle until you find it. That's what I do in my residence hall, and I've been here for like 3 weeks and I still don't know where everything is, so I'll just find the right floor and wander. It's great. It's fun. Another big thing, this one isn't going to apply to everyone, but if you were a big shot in high school, don't come to college automatically assuming it's going to happen because, you're a freshman all over again. You're starting all over again. Most likely none of these people are going to know you or, that you were the most popular kid in high school or whatever. They're going to be like, no, you have to prove yourself to us. So, there's these people that come in thinking, they're these big shots and all. It's like, no, you have to start again. If you end up being a big shot after that, hey, cool, fine, whatever, do your thing. But don't come into college expecting that everything's going to be exactly the same thing as high school. And that goes for, that is kind of good advice for people. Don't come into college expecting the same experience as high school because it's really, really different. For one thing, a lot of the people, there are so many people at college with so many different backgrounds and experiences and all that stuff that you will find people that, even if in high school you really didn't have a lot of people you connected with or that you really, thought the same way you do. In college, you will find those people. I kid you not, you will find them somewhere. And, these are the friendships that are really going to last for a long time because, You know, it's not like me in high school where I'm friends with everyone because I've known them since I was like 4. You know, these are people who really, they're interested in the same things I am, and, you know, they like me for me, not just because our parents know each other and bad things will happen if one of us is mean to the other. Another aspect to that is college work is different than high school work. I'm someone who didn't have to study at all in high school, and I still graduated with like a ridiculously high average. College is hard. I have to put work into college. I like it because the classes are challenging and interesting, but at the same time, I've actually had to study for tests, and I don't know how to do that very well. Yay! So that's another thing for, I'm just kind of rambling out at this point. So that's, you know, if you're top of your class, be prepared to work in college, because it's different. And it's a lot of material in a very short, condensed time frame, and because you're in college, professors expect more from you, so they expect you to write, you know, really long papers that are well-cited and have all this stuff, and, you know, they test you on, like, textbooks that are this thick of stuff, and they'll cover the whole thing in a semester, where in high school you're covering that in, like, a year or more. So, you know, it's really accelerated, and it's a higher workload, but, you know, it's one of those things where you've got to figure out your limits are pretty early on, and, you know, don't procrastinate when I do it, but, you know, figure out your limits. So, like, if you have a 10-page paper due in a month, and you can't write a 10-page paper the night before it's due, don't try. Start figuring that shit out, you know, in that month between now and the night before it's due. It will really help you. That's the only reason I didn't, like, implode over finals week last semester, is because I actually did work ahead of time. I know, it's weird. That's another, you know, it's don't expect it to be the same as it was in high school, because the workload's higher and it's harder and they expect more of you, but, you know, I think it's worth it. You know, you just gotta actually put time into your schoolwork if you were like me and didn't study. Another advice, get involved. At colleges, they have all sorts of ridiculous amounts of clubs that you can join. I mean, here at Oswego, we've got, like, Knights of the Jedi Order or something like that. I don't know, some Star Wars, some Jedi Knights thingy. There's, like, Storytellers Guild, there's, you know, there's different biology and ecology clubs, there's different student government clubs, there's, like, every minority, like, a lot of racial, like, most of the racial minorities have them. GSA, well, Pride Alliance, but it's basically GSA. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's intramural sports, there's all sorts of concerts and, like, performing groups that are student-run and student-based and made up of students and all that stuff. So there's bound to be something there that everyone will like. And, like, here, if you don't find that club, you can go start it. So it's a good way to meet people who like the same things you do and to make friends. And a lot of my friends have come from that. So that's definitely getting involved and getting out of your room. Definitely a big thing. So much more I could go into. I'll probably do another one of these videos at some point, but this is getting long, so I think the last piece of advice I will leave freshmen with is don't play with fire extinguishers. I'm serious about this. It's really, don't do it. It pisses people off. Because that happened. Yeah, first fire drill here. Someone set off a fire extinguisher. We were in another building for an hour while it got cleaned up. It was not fun. Nobody was happy. Everyone was very, very upset. And then us RAs had to go and move people in the next day. On, like, 3 hours of sleep. It's great. Don't do it. Don't. Even if you're drunk, off, you know, all get out, and you think it's going to be the greatest idea of all time, don't do it. Don't do it. Because especially if they get you, everyone will hate you for the rest of your college career. Okay, maybe not that long, but they will really not like you for quite a while. So I would really, really strongly recommend against doing that. Just don't. It's bad. So, I guess that's it for now. There's probably, like, I didn't even get into roommates and all this stuff, but those are probably, like, the biggest tips that I could really give you from my college experience. Yeah. So hopefully those are helpful. You know, if there's anything that you really want me to make a video about college-wise, then ask me. Fine, whatever. I'll, you know, just leave a suggestions for that in the comments, and I will eventually make a video on them at some point. That is going to go really long because I don't know how to make short videos. It's a problem. I need to work on that. But, yeah. So, that being said, everything's down in the description box. Twitter, email. I think there's something else that I used to do, but I don't know what it is anymore. So, yeah, I think it's just Twitter and email down there now since I'm not doing the other channel. My name's Sweeney Dias. I make these videos every Saturday. That's not a day. I make these videos every Saturday. That one. And I'll catch y'all later.